Welcome, and today's story is called Selling a Birthright. Father, said Charlie one day, Mr. Reed is going to take the whole school to Union Hill, where we are to have a dinner and a grand time. We're to choose a captain for one of the senior class. Who are you going to vote for in the election? Morton, the tallest fellow in school and the best boy, too, I think. But George has gone over to the opposition. Father looked at George. Who is your candidate? Let's hear about it. Chester is my choice, he said. I don't see why he won't make a good captain as Morton. Well, he's not so good of a scholar, said Charlie. Besides, he swears sometimes as well. Then, he's also buying votes from people, and I think that is just wrong. Well, George flushed a little bit, but did not reply. George, said his father, I want you to tell me whether Chester has given you anything to influence your vote. George hung his head, and he sat there slowly thinking how to reply to his dad. There was no escape from his father's question, and at last he finally answered, I broke my new bat yesterday playing baseball. George gave me his if I would just promise to vote for him. Did you promise? His father asked. Yes, he replied. You were wrong, my boy. Your vote is your birthright. Not long ago, when we read how Esau sold his birthright for a mess of pottage, you thought him a foolish man. Now you have sold yours for a second-hand bat. You have sold your influence, and as far as it goes, to vote for a boy who by taking unfair means show he is unfit for the position. Now, as you look over the whole affair, do you not think that is just a pretty cheap? Yes, answered George, but I think that it was so important. If you can be bought with a bat, young man, when you are just a boy, you may be bought with an office or with money when you are a man. I want my sons to be above taking bribes or selling their freedom for things. Well, what can I do? Cried George. Well, take the bat back to Chester and tell him how the matter looks to you on further consideration. If he has any honor in him, he will release you from your promise. If he has none, he can hold you to it, and you must keep your word, but take care not to be caught in such a position again. George wished the old bat were at the bottom of the sea as he carried it back to Chester. He was laughed at, reproached, and he was still held to his promise, just as he is expected to be, and he acquired such a contempt for the candidate's lack of principle that he was glad when he found himself on the losing side the next day. In fact, he joined heartily in the cheers which the winners gave for their friend Morton. We need to remember in this story, just as the lesson George had learned, we are so often quick to selling ourselves short for things. Whether you be a child or whether it be an adult, it is so easy to influence us. We need to remember that we need to hold strong to our beliefs and our ideals, no matter what they may be. Don't sell ourselves short. Just as Esau sold his birthright for a pottage, we find ourselves time and time again selling our birthright to heaven for such little things here on this earth. We need to take our time and examine what is really important in life. No matter what it is, whether it be stealing a candy from a store, or whether it be taking a bribe to be able to treat someone badly. We need to remember what is important and not sell ourselves short, whether it be in our integrity or whether it be our salvation. We need to make sure that we can stand strong and learn the same lesson that George had to learn here. I thank you and hope you have a wonderful day and enjoyed this story. And God bless.